Good afternoon, and thank you for taking time out of your Tuesday afternoon to join us here on SuperTalk Tupelo 101.9 FM. And this is the ICC Hour. It's August the 8th, Election Day. So throughout the state, if you haven't already, I do want to encourage you to get out and exercise your right to vote in your respected areas. And of course, you want to keep it locked right here on SuperTalk Mississippi to keep up with everything going on throughout the day here on Election Day. Now, last week, we had a chance to catch up with ICC President Dr. Jay Allen and Director of Recruiting and Orientation, Mr. Michael Holloway. If you happen to miss that show but want to go back and check it out, you can do so by searching the ICC Hour. Just 3 simple words, the ICC Hour. You can check that out on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe to the page while you're there. Now, I'm Adam Gore, Sports Information Director here at ICC, and the ICC Hour is being presented to you by our friends over at Renasant.
Playing on tour takes years of dedication, hours of practice, focused precision, and nerves of steel. That's how you become great at the game, but not how you should bank. That's why Allie Ewing chose Renasant Bank. Their easy-to-use app makes banking a breeze, no matter where she is. Renasant Bank, understanding you.
Now, on this week's show, we'll be joined by one of my most favorite people on campus. That's Miss Taylor Tutor. She is the Student Activities Coordinator here at Itawamba Community College. And we're going to talk about Welcome Week. Now, you already know if we're going to do something here at ICC, we're going to do it big. And Welcome Week is a prime example of that. It's a great way to kick off the first week of school on all 3 of our locations, of course, those being Fulton, Tupelo, and Belden. So you want to be sure and stick around for that interview there with Taylor. Now, speaking of that, you still have time to get signed up for classes here at ICC. We'll have late registration opportunities that will be open tomorrow through Thursday on our Tupelo and Fulton campuses. All you got to do is stop by, visit with one of our friendly advisors, and get signed up for classes. I promise you, you won't regret it. It's an open registration, so no appointments are needed. Again, that's on the Fulton and Tupelo campuses Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Now, in the second half of the show, we'll continue to look at our Welcome Week. That's next week, as we'll be joined by Zach Cox. He is the director of the ICC Wesley Foundation, and he'll also have Taylon Land with him, who is a student here at ICC. They'll tell us more about the ICC Wesley Foundation, some of the things they'll have going on throughout Welcome Week, a new podcast they're starting, and, of course, some other things that they'll offer throughout the semester. And then we'll wrap up the show by talking to ICC volleyball coach Annie McGregor. Coach McGregor will stop by and preview the upcoming volleyball season, tell us more about our girls and how things are going when it comes to getting ready for the upcoming season. Of course, that'll be starting soon. We do want to encourage you to visit letsgoicc.com. That's letsgoicc.com to learn more about volleyball and all the other great sports that we've got going on this fall. Now, as you can tell, we have a jam-packed show for you this week. So sit back, relax with an ice-cold Coca-Cola from our friends at Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, and enjoy the show, because when we come back, we'll have ICC Student Activities Coordinator Taylor Tutor when the ICC Hour continues here on SuperTalk Mississippi. It's not too late to sign up for classes at Itawamba Community College. ICC has scheduled open registration opportunities for August the 9th from 1 to 5 p.m. on our Fulton and Tupelo campuses, August the 10th from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. in Fulton and 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. in Tupelo, and on August the 11th from 8 a.m. to 4:30 on both our Tupelo and Fulton campuses. Financial aid is still available. Day and night traditional classes begin on August the 14th. Online classes start on August 21st. Itawamba Community College, the best start here.
Why settle for a checking account that just holds your money? Renasant Rewards Extra gives you so much more. Like savings at more than 400,000 retailers, 24/7 roadside assistance, a cell phone protection plan worth up to $400, $25 in ATM fee refunds per monthly cycle, and a great interest rate when you meet 3 easy qualifications. Get extra today at rewardsextra.com. Renasant Bank, understanding you. Member FDIC.
I've gotten several degrees in other subjects, and I've been working restaurants most of my life, so it kind of just fell into place to where let's get more experience, more information, more training, so I can take over like a restaurant and manage. I've worked all around the state, out of state. I first started up in Memphis, worked around Virginia, moved down to Mississippi, and then just been working restaurants most of my life. You can work your way from the ground up, but there's also more things involved in that where you just need that extra level of training. And that's when I decided to go back to ICC and get my degree there again. It just kind of fell into place to where I found out that they were doing a hospitality program, and I decided to apply. The online program, I was able to basically go to school around my work schedule, so it's not like I'm having to take off from work, and I could get all my work done ahead of time and have everything turned in on specific days, so I'm not having to play catch up anywhere or miss work. Just that right amount of time to where you get in, you get some training, you get some learning, and possibly some certifications under your belt, and then when you get out into the market, it might help you find a better place to start working on your career. Everything that I learned in the program is relevant to what I'm doing on currently. I mean, everything from like food cost, human resources management, dealing with customer relations, guest relations, social media marketing, things like that. It's all very, very relevant nowadays. I was able to get my ServSafe certification, which is important for managers. Best advice is just go in with an open mind and a good attitude, and you'll probably succeed.
They say Diet Coke is a mom's drink. Well, you copied her jeans, her spin, her shoes, her scrunchie, and whether you realize it or not, her music. Now, copy her drink. Drink what your mama gave you.
Hey, honey, could you help me with this? Today tastes like staying in. And it never tasted this good.
Everyone has a unique story to tell. Maybe your story has you performing your new song in front of a crowd, getting to play your favorite sport, or enjoying a horseback ride in the country. At Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, our group of skilled surgeons understand your need to continue your story. That is why we are the preferred choice for orthopedic care. Thank you for choosing us. Our story is you. Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi.
And welcome back to the ICC Hour, ladies and gentlemen, as we're going to step into our Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi spotlight and talk with Miss Taylor Tutor. Taylor is over student activities here at ICC. And Taylor, first off, thanks for joining the show.
Thanks for having me, Adam.
All right, so new school year is just about to start. Welcome Week coming up next week. Before we talk about Welcome Week, let's just go ahead and just talk about your excitement for the new school year.
I'm very excited for the new school year. We're actually going to have a second hand in student activities. We've got a new hire. It's a student activities specialist, Maggie Wilkinson. She's from Pontotoc, coming from spending 3 years in California working for Bob Goff, event planning for him. So she'll bring a lot to the table. I'm very excited to add her to the ICC family.
Well, that's awesome, because I'll tell you this, and that's one thing during some of our shows last year. I bragged on you often to Dr. Allen and other people. You have done an outstanding job.
Thanks, Adam.
Kind of building on the success of the ones that come before you. But why is student activity so important to the lifeblood of the college?
Well, it definitely creates an experience for the students. So it's proven that students have higher GPAs when they're involved, and I think that's because they build relationships with people who care about them and will push them and ask them how they're doing and just care about them when they're away from, family that has in the past. But really pushing for students to get involved in something. There is something here for everyone. And if we don't have it, they can start it, So I always preach to them, like, even if it's just one thing, find something where they can really make connections and relationships here. Yeah,
that's one thing that, as you said, is a key to college is to be involved. You don't have to be involved with everything, but be involved, don't stay in your dorm room, there's plenty of stuff to do here, not only in Fulton, but also on our Tupelo and Belden campuses as well. So just kind of outline just Of course, we'll talk about Welcome Week here shortly, but kind of outline just some of the big events that you're looking forward to here in the next coming months.
So Welcome Week's a big week. It's the first week of school, and the first 2 weeks of college for incoming freshmen are very important. It's typically when they meet new people and get plugged in and they really find their place here. So that's why we emphasize Welcome Week being such a big deal. And then during the second week, we have the involvement fair where all of our clubs and organizations will be set up so that students can put a face with an organization and really talk to someone about how they can contribute to that organization. For Welcome Week, though, it starts on that Sunday of move-in for some. So move-in actually starts that weekend, but Sunday's the last day to move in, and we'll have a movie night that night. Free popcorn, free movie, free candy, and drinks. Monday and Tuesday, we'll actually have tents across all of our locations so students can stop by to get help to find their classes or figure out, even how to read their schedule. It can be very different than high school. But we'll also give them some coffee and donuts to hype them up on the first day. And then later that night, we have our Funky Town Throwdown at the President's house. So it'll be on his front lawn. We'll have live music, we'll have a water slide and free food, photo booth, mechanical bull, lots of things going on. And then night 2 in Fulton, we'll have the Wesley Burgers and Blues, and then the BSU water party. And then we'll have some things at Tupelo and Belden. We'll have cookouts there where they get free food, free funky cones for the first 100 people that week. And then we end Wednesday night with Meet the Indians. So we'll have all of our fall sporting events there to talk about their schedule. We get to meet them, get their schedules for the year, and just get people all excited for sporting events, which are free for students with their student ID. And then Thursday in Fulton, we have funky cones for them as well.
That's awesome. And then, of course, you mentioned the involvement fair. That one I like because we find student workers that I desperately need.
Yes.
But it's a good way to for students to, one, possibly find some work study opportunities, but also find ways to, once again, get involved and maybe even build a portfolio, build experience, a resume towards their future jobs.
Right. And also during those first 2 weeks of school, even some into the third, are a lot of interest meetings. So if a student does miss the involvement fair, they can still go to interest meetings for those clubs. I know Fashion Tribe will have them, ICC Boys, Travel Tribe with the Global Experience will be having interest meetings, Student Government Association, Homecoming Court, lots of things going on to get involved and get plugged in. So if a student is missing an opportunity of any of those, they can always email me too to figure out ways. I've had emails all summer long. I'm kind of eager to see what kind of involvement we have this year because I've gotten so many emails. But my email is tltutor@iccms.edu if people want to reach me. But the best way to stay plugged in is to be checking your ICC email. Yes. And our Instagram account is Get Involved ICC. That's where we post everything that's going on for just anything, the big weeks, the smaller events across all 3 locations. So that's the best way to stay plugged in.
And once again, that's Get Involved on Instagram. You'll see a lot of cross promotions on the athletic and then the institutional social media platforms as well. Again, we're talking to Taylor Tutor. Taylor, what's your official title now?
My official title is Coordinator of Student Activities.
So busy is
yes,
what you're
busy.
So what's some of the highlights for you? I hate to reference back to this because it's been a little while now. We're kind of putting it behind it. But, COVID kind of just shut everything down. And we slowly came out of it. But, man, I tell you, now when we get the students in, like ball games, you see them, when we have the Indian Week and just the life it brings to campus it's just great.
It is, and I think the students that we're seeing are those students that missed out on opportunities in high school because of COVID, so they're very, very eager to get involved. Last year, we, tripled in attendance for almost every event that we had. The new ones, we had great turnouts for those, but I think it's because students are so eager to make those connections because they've been missing them. They've been, desperate to form relationships with people because even an extreme extrovert, they still crave that face-to-face interaction with people to know that somebody's there that cares about them. So I think, with student activities, that's what we offer for them. A variety of events, big ones, small ones, more intimate, game nights, paint parties, bigger things. But some of my favorite ones are those weeks where it's full of events. It may be very tiring for me, and I may not have a social life outside of it, but it's so much fun to see the students get together and make friends at those. And it's really cool to look back at pictures from Welcome Week at the end of the year during Indian Week and look at those and say, when I was taking those pictures in, I didn't know those students, but now I know their names and what their major is and where they're going and who they're friends with and things like that. So I think my favorite part is seeing students develop along the way and kind of grow into who they are and, really even figure out who they are, get out of their shell and really find what is important to them and see them work hard for it.
Yeah, it really becomes that family. You're a prime example of that. You once was a student, and now you're coming back and still want to be part of that ICC family as an employee. What brought you back to ICC?
Well, I love my time here. I was kind of involved here as well and made a lot of friends, but I just couldn't believe the atmosphere here. How many people like you and Emily Tucker, who is my advisor, who just believed in me and pushed me to be, more, helped me decide what I wanted to do in life. That my advisor and even Michael Holloway, director of recruiting now, helped me along the way figure out what I cared about, and really showed me that people are always watching, whether we think they are or not. And I remember when I applied for this job, I was very thrilled that the recruiter position was going to be opening and starting something new, and I was excited to do that. But when I was told about the job, I put references on there that were not ICC related, just to show that I was diverse, that I wasn't only just involved at ICC, that I still blossomed and met people and made connections after that. But I found out that they never even had to call those people because there were so many internal people saying, oh, you need to hire Taylor. She loves ICC. She'd be great at this job. So it just goes to show that even though it may seem small and we may be a community college, but we are a family here. We have a great atmosphere and we do make connections that last a long time, that go beyond things. I mean, even Will, that was a student when I first started working here, going to work for the SEC, he started here. So I think people can have a misconception of ICC. But I think that for me, it really, really helped me become who I am and give me the confidence to try new things and to put myself out there for other jobs and other things. And it's not that I never will work somewhere else, but I hope that I get to stay here forever. I would love to retire from here, but, you have to go where you're led and, don't close doors. But my plan would be to stay here. I love it here. My coworkers make the job even so much more fun than it is. I think I make it seem too fun because there's too many people wanting to come back and work in student activities. But just the people that I work with, and I really do believe in the leadership of the college. Dr. Allen, sets the tone for this place, and I believe in his mission for the college, and he reminds us frequently, we're all on the same team. We're all working towards the same goal. We all just play a different part in it. So I really appreciate that. I'm excited for convocation whenever he gives us something, to stick to for the year. And last year it was, to be 10% better. So I really held on to that this year. And just if we can do 10%, then we're really making a difference. So I just love it here. I love the atmosphere. I love the people. And I believe in the leadership.
I tell you what, that's a perfect way to wrap up this segment here. But before I let you go, real quick, let everybody know where they can follow you on Instagram, and then if they need to find out more information, or maybe there's a business out there that would donate to student activities. How can they get in touch with you? Yes, so Instagram handle is Get Involved ICC, and then to reach out to me, you can call the college or you can email me directly at tltutor@iccms.edu, or call the college, like I said. But I would love to partner with any businesses if they need to come to campus and they want to sell their stuff. That's awesome. I love those partnerships and have lots of them now. Even Bethel Baptist Church is one that cooks for us all the time. For our cookouts, they cook burgers and hot dogs, and we greatly, greatly appreciate that. And the students love them and know who they are. So yes, any email is the great way to reach me. tltutor@iccms.edu. Well, Taylor, I appreciate your time and looking forward to another great year at ICC. Thanks, Adam. And we'll be back with more of the ICC Hour right after this.
Kirk Herbstreit is a man of many talents. Not only an athlete and a sportscaster, but also an expert cartographer, an amateur alchemist, a surprisingly gifted poet.
What rhymes with encroachment?
But his true talent lies in the art of banking.
With Renasant Bank's great products, rewards, and easy-to-use online tools, every transaction is a masterpiece.
You might refer to Kirk as a Renaissance man.
But I call myself a Renaissance man.
Everyone has a unique story to tell. Maybe your story has you performing your new song in front of a crowd, getting to play your favorite sport, or enjoying a horseback ride in the country. At Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, our group of skilled surgeons understand your need to continue your story. That is why we are the preferred choice for orthopedic care. Thank you for choosing us. Our story is you. Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi.
Today tastes like a home game, like a huddle. Tastes like we're bringing the heat, and like a front row seat. Today tastes like we're a team, and it never tasted this good.
It's not too late to sign up for classes at Itawamba Community College. ICC has scheduled open registration opportunities for August the 9th from 1 to 5 p.m. on our Fulton and Tupelo campuses, August the 10th from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. in Fulton and 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. in Tupelo, and on August the 11th from 8 a.m. to 4:30 on both our Tupelo and Fulton campuses. Financial aid is still available. Day and night traditional classes begin on August the 14th. Online classes start on August 21st. Itawamba Community College, the best start here. And welcome back to the ICC Hour here on SuperTalk Mississippi 101.9 FM. As always, the ICC Hour is being brought to you by our friends over at Renasant Bank. They are the bank that understands you, and you can find out why by visiting RenasantBank.com. We're sticking with the theme of Welcome Week here on this week's show. We've already talked to Taylor Tutor about a lot of things that will be going on next week, and now we're going to welcome in a couple of guys here from the ICC Wesley Foundation. We got Zach Cox and Taylon Land. And guys, thanks for joining the show today.
Thanks. Sir. Glad to be here.
Well, Zach, let's start with you. You've been the director of the Wesley Foundation for 3 years now. Kind of tell everybody what the Wesley Foundation is.
The Wesley Foundation is a student ministry that is designed around faith leadership and Christian understanding. We bring in students to help them understand their walk with Jesus, or perhaps encounter Jesus for the first time. And we exist to help them understand what it means to be in community with one another, therefore to be in community outside of the walls of the Wesley Foundation, whether that be reaching students on campus or taking that back home in whatever they may do, because our goal is to ensure that students find a home first and foremost at the Wesley Foundation. We ensure that they know that this is a place that they can belong and have community, and it's also a place to learn more about Jesus and why they call themselves Christians and how to share that with others.
Now, the Wesley Foundation, you'll hear me talk about it during athletic broadcasts. They're located right across the street from the Davis Event Center. So tell everybody, what do you do and what are some of the things? And, feel free to conversate with Taylon as well, or Taylon as well, and just kind of talk about what the Wesley Foundation offers the students.
Right. So as I said, it's a Christian community. We offer student-led small groups on Sunday nights, and then on Tuesdays, we offer worship, which is a band led by the students, and then we offer teaching, and then after that we go into the kitchen and we have dinner, and that's what we call our life groups. Is that something brand new to us, as we've always offered food, but we're changing it more into an understanding of students to be able to sit down at a meal and just conversate, whether it be life or what they taught or what they learned or what they heard from the teaching. And then also we offer opportunities for them to go on affordable mission trips, whether it be local. We do community support. We provide, we try our best to help small churches staff youth pastors and that sort of thing. We provide any assistance to students, whether it be, even if they've ever been to the Wesley Foundation or they've never stepped foot of the Wesley Foundation. If the college comes and says, look, we've got a student that needs a few things, then we're going to do our best to find the resources and provide for that student. We provide what we call agape, which means God's love. We have a shelf that has toiletries on it for students to get when they need. And of course, we also offer lunch and a Bible study on the Tupelo campus. That's completely free for students to come in, grab some food, hear the word. And we design that around their schedule, as that campus is more of a commuter mindset. And then, of course, the Wesley Foundation is also the building itself is for the students. We provide food, we keep it stocked, coffee, couches, games, things, PlayStations, pool table, all that good stuff, Wi-Fi for students to have a place to come and study and just rest and get away.
Absolutely. That's Zach Cox. Now we're going to welcome into the conversation here Taylon Land. And Taylon, as a student, how does it feel for you to know that you've got a place like that, not only a building, but a group of like-minded students and adults that are there for you as here at ICC?
Yes, sir. I think it's a wonderful thing. When I started going there, it was something to I'm not alone. I have people here that wants to praise the Lord, and I enjoy it a lot, and I love how we all come together. Like you said, we worship, we eat together, we play games together. We did a lot of dancing last semester. So, but when it came to the end, it was like that you had a family here, and you always have a family there. So.
And that's kind of the theme here at ICC is we are a family, and it's not just here at the college. It is through the Wesley Foundation and other groups like that as well. Now, speaking of Welcome Week, that is next week. You guys are always a big part of that. Zach, talk about what you've got planned for Welcome Week.
So long before I ever showed up, they've done a thing called Burgers and Blues, and that's where we do a big cookout. Your standard run-of-the-mill cookout, burgers, hot dogs, all the works. Our board of directors has always been instrumental in that. They've always cooked. They've always provided the foods, all that sort of thing. But now we're trying to introduce the blues aspect of it, as some of our praise band and students will lead us in blues music, jazz, Christian, anything that just to hang out and just showcase their talents. And then, of course, we play games. We all the time giving away something, gift cards, and things that students would actually need. And then this year we're introducing a cornhole tournament.
Okay.
There will be a good prize for the group that wins the cornhole tournament, and it's just to get students. We host it at the Wesley Foundation to get students acclimated to who we are, where we are, and the main push of it too is just for them to get something to eat and say, hey, look, it's here. It's a good cookout. Just come, have some fun, play some games. And we do that to help support our student activities, to provide something for the students to do that's positive and that's clean and that's they'll leave with something.
Yeah, it's one of those that is clearly college is what you make it, and it's about getting involved, and most definitely give them a lot of opportunities there to get involved. One of those opportunities is a new opportunity. You guys are introducing a podcast, Taylon. Sure. Tell us more about the podcast.
So the podcast, the name of it is God Is, and it's basically where a group of college kids get together and we discuss the experience of God and how He came into our life and how he is with us right now. And it's something I ran across from when I started going to the Wesley. It was I was like, let's do a podcast. I never seen a podcast where it's just a couple of teenage kids getting together and talk about the Lord. So I ran the conversation with him, and he agreed with it. And the hardest part was just coming up with a name. And I just said, what about God Is? And he liked it, and I started rolling with it, and we did a couple of projects on it, just trying to figure out what we need to do. And we have improved a lot, and I am ready to start this off as a great thing. So
awesome. Now, kind of talk about it, and you talked about it a little bit before, but it's not just going to be just students. It's anybody that really wants to come on the show or come on the podcast and just share their experience as a Christian.
Yes, sir. Basically, we're going through the things where, it is a college show, but we can always get guest speakers that's coming from anywhere, from the president being here, from Ralph, or you, for anything. Because we will love to hear other people's stories, so we can know how that they went through the struggles we were going through, so we're not alone. So.
Right. I think that's a very important thing to offer in today's world, because, it's just sometimes the world's a tough place to be. And a lot of times, you do feel like you're alone in a sense, but you're really not. There's a lot of people out there that do go through the same struggles as well. And Zach, kind of talk about the importance of this podcast, but not only that, but also for it to be a student-led podcast.
Right. So the podcast was not my idea. Being someone who isn't a huge podcast listener, but I love the idea because it's something positive for the students to spend their time on. It's something positive that these students will take their time and their talents that they're interested in, and I would love for them to be sitting in our building recording a podcast with other students. And of course, they do run all their ideas and certain things by me to ensure that we're going in a direction that is biblical, that is centered around understanding God and God's work and presence always in our life. But I'm excited. It's student led. I really have no hand in it. I guess the only thing I do is buy the stuff when they need it.
There you go.
So that's about all what I do. But I was very excited to hear that, and as I just alluded to earlier, is just another avenue for the students to do something at the Wesley Foundations that is showcasing their talent, but showing how God has introduced that talent for them to put something more positive in the light. And I do want to interject on that is our podcast right now is being hosted through our YouTube channel at ICC. So just subscribe to ICC Wesley. That's where we're parking our podcast. I guess technically YouTube's not a podcast platform, but
well, that's where they can listen to this one as well. So
that's right. Yeah. So that's where we're trying to, that's the best avenue. And of course, we'll share it to our Instagram each episode. All of our social media handles are at ICC Wesley. So it's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
Awesome.
So we're there. Just give us a like and a follow, and you won't miss an episode. I think when the students get back on campus, and they get their feet under them is when we'll start churning out episodes.
Awesome.
And having the students be more involved with that.
Yes, sir.
Well, Taylon, I'm going to give you a chance right now to invite any students that are listening to the show out to the Wesley Foundation.
Yes, sir. Just want y'all to just come out here. It's a very nice thing. You will be shy at first, but I'll just give it a couple of weeks in, and it'll feel like a second home to you. And, this is the place where you shouldn't be scared to praise the Lord and worship. This is where it's at right here. So,
and to interject, we don't care who you are. Yeah. We just want you to be a part of it.
Absolutely. And Zach, real quick, if there's somebody that's listening right now that is interested in donating or maybe volunteering some time with the Wesley Foundation for the students, how can they do that?
So we will take anything to an extent. So you could reach us. If you follow any of our social media platforms, you can reach out to us through any of those. But the best form of communication is to contact us at iccwesley@gmail.com or our office phone, which is 662-523-8218. Let's try the email first. I'm pretty sure that's the phone number.
I got you. Like me, you got so many different phone numbers you kind of run together there.
I know it. But we would love to partner with anyone and anybody that just wants to make a positive impact in college students. Because as I spoke with my wife, someone's got to be in these guys' corners. And I'm thankful that our donors, because graceful donors allows us to provide these mission trips, to provide these weekend retreats, to provide the property and the resources, to be there for those students. And it's a win-win for these kids because we help them grow in their faith, but we also have an opportunity to give them happy memories and to cherish their time at ICC because, as I've shared multiple times with our leadership of the college, we're also invested in helping the best start here at ICC. So we can't do it without gracious donors. So as I said, my name is Zach. I'm not a hard person to find.
Absolutely. Well, Zach and Taylon, I do appreciate what you guys are doing with the Wesley Foundation to help make the experience of our ICC students here even better than we have. And, man, I'm looking forward to a great year this year, and I hope you guys have a good one as well.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Thank you, Adam. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll be back with more of the ICC Hour right after this. It's not too late to sign up for classes at Itawamba Community College. ICC has scheduled open registration opportunities for August the 9th from 1 to 5 p.m. on our Fulton and Tupelo campuses, August the 10th from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. in Fulton and 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. in Tupelo, and on August the 11th from 8 a.m. to 4:30 on both our Tupelo and Fulton campuses. Financial aid is still available. Day and night traditional classes begin on August the 14th. Online classes start on August 21st. Itawamba Community College, the best start here.
Kirk Herbstreit is a man of many talents, not only an athlete and a sportscaster, but also a maestro of the clarinet, a famous speed solver,
Piece of cake.
a noted cheese connoisseur.
Limburger.
But his true talent lies in the art of banking.
With Renasant Bank's great products, rewards, and easy-to-use online tools, every transaction is a masterpiece.
You might refer to Kirk as a Renaissance man.
But I call myself a Renaissance man.
Electrical technology is, here at ICC, is a program where we take students in and teach them from the fundamentals of what electricity is all the way to very advanced concepts. It takes 2 years, it's 4 semesters, and you would always have to start in the fall because the courses are taught fall and spring. So in other words, the courses that are offered in the fall are not offered again in the spring, so you have to start in the fall, and it takes 2 years. There is a huge demand right now for electrical technicians in the workplace. As we all know, manufacturing has gotten very automated and very technical, and we meet that need with our program here. So our students they're definitely going to have opportunities once they graduate, even opportunities while they're going to school here through the internship program that we have. Most of our students on the internship program are in that $14 to $16 range, and then once they graduate, and most industries does a pre-employment exam, and then they test to see where those students will fit into their pay scale. I would say that most of them fall in that $18 to $22 an hour after graduation. So it's a really, really hands-on program. So that's another thing that students need to be aware of. If you enjoy working with your hands and the physical aspect of using tools and doing a job, then this curriculum would be something that you need to look at. There is a good bit of programming, but you're not just going to be a programmer. You know, you're going to be a multi-skilled electrical technician, which means that you'll do all of the skill sets, not just the programming. Electrical technicians in manufacturing the number per manufacturing facility is going up because the technology used in all of manufacturing is going up exponentially. I mean, we just get more and more automated and autonomous in our manufacturing processes, which means that we have to have a really skilled person to maintain those processes and keep them functioning. So the maintenance technicians today are all, by and large, have a huge electrical background to be able to do what they do with the automated processes that we manufacture today. And it doesn't matter what you're manufacturing, whether you're building cars or tires or body parts, or, it doesn't matter. All manufacturing processes are automated at a really high level today and continuing to grow in that area.
That's home. That's just like the Ravens. That's just like Pahokee, Florida. That's my second home. I got my degree from there, my first degree, college degree. It's part of my heart, it's part of my soul, it's part of my spirit. And, it's everything. Itawamba Community College, baby, it's everything. It shaped me up to being a great man because it was part of the journey of me becoming the young man I am today. And it's home, man. That's it. Like, I could go there and lay my head down without no problems. Itawamba Community College, the best start here.
Welcome back to the ICC Hour here on SuperTalk Mississippi 101.9 FM. We're going to talk a little bit of athletics coming up. And we do that, we want to remind you that you can keep up with all things ICC athletics by visiting letsgoicc.com and following at Let's Go ICC on your favorite social media platform. Well, sports seasons are here, and we're going to start things off with volleyball coach, Coach Annie McGregor. And, Coach, thanks for joining us.
Thanks. I'm glad to be here.
Well, Coach, the girls reported not too long ago, and it's almost a blink of an eye, and now you're playing your first preseason matchup coming up on the 11th. So just talk about the vibe around the team right now.
Yeah, we are so excited to have our girls back on campus. They bring incredible energy, and we worked really hard in our spring off season to create a culture that we wanted to brand ourselves with, and everybody has bought into the system that we're trying to do, and we're really, really excited about getting on the court.
Before we go a little bit further in about the team, I want to expand on the creating the culture type thing. Volleyball's a new sport to the area, rapidly growing, and a large part of that is thanks to the ICC program and you. I know you, I think, had 12 camps per day. No, I'm kidding.
It felt like it, yes.
You had tons of camps during the summer, but it's mainly a lot of them were for the high school teams to help them continue to grow their programs and let them experience ICC, but more importantly, grow the sport of volleyball. Why is that important to you?
Well, I mean, a year ago, I was a high school coach, and so I know the resources that high school coaches have and don't have, and so it's kind of been my mission to help them, because I know all the area coaches because I was a high school coach in Northeast Mississippi for 10 years. And so I know all the coaches, and I love to give back to those high school teams because I want to recruit their athletes. And so that's a great way for me to get to know players, for players to get to know me, build that relationship, but also continue to grow the game, like you said, because volleyball is slowly, well, not slowly, it's quite now rapidly growing and becoming much more popular for girls.
Absolutely. And of course, like I said, I think this is going to be our 5th year at the college. No, fourth year at the college.
My second, the team's 4th.
Yes. So 4th year at the college. This is a sport I'm also learning. And I'm going to say this for those that don't experience volleyball that much. It's a fun sport.
It's fun. It's fast paced. It's high energy, and it's fun. You know, I'm married to a baseball coach, and there's a lot of downtime in baseball, and there's not in volleyball. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Matter of fact, speaking of high energy and good times, that's a good segue back into your girls.
Yes.
We had media day not too long ago, and I'm going to tell you what, you have got your hands full.
I do.
But you've got your hands full with a bunch of good kids.
I
They're
sure
fun
do.
to be around, and hopefully that's going to lead to a fun and good season.
I hope so. These girls, they truly make my day brighter. This summer I was up here, like you said, a lot, and it was worth it because I brought them all back to help work the camps. So it was a lot of fun to be able to be with my girls and build those relationships before our season starts.
Now, one of the biggest problems on junior college level is the fact that you have constant turnover.
Mm-hmm.
You only have these kids here for 2 years. You've got 9 sophomores coming back. You've got 7 freshmen coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about those sophomores. And I know right now you may not want to go name for name, but just talk about the sophomores as a group and what's your expectations for them.
Man, those sophomores, they just work hard. And so they saw last year kind of what it takes, and they kind of saw that we have our expectations set and how to push ourselves harder, and they know that we're going to give it a little bit more this year, and then the freshmen know we're going to give it a little bit more next year and just continue to build on our successes. But those sophomores, they worked their tails off in the spring, whether it was conditioning, spin class, practices, on the court. We played 8 spring season games, and so that got even the girls that didn't get a ton of playing time in the fall, that got them a lot of reps and playing time in the spring. So it was a really good experience for us.
And a big thing about it is, too, the speed of the game. You know, they had to learn that last year. So now they're having to help the freshmen come along and pick up that speed of the game because it's fast and it's quick, but, man, it's so much of a jump from high school to junior college.
It is. And I think one of the hardest things is that all of these girls were the dude on their high school team. You know, and so then they come here, and it's a little bit of culture shock when you realize, oh, my gosh, everyone here is really stinking good. You know, so that's been an adjustment for our freshmen. But our sophomores have really even already poured into our freshmen and kind of told them, hey, this is what you can expect. I'm here for you. You know, I want you to know you're not alone. And so it's been a really good experience so far.
Absolutely. And, of course, we're going to talk about the schedule coming up. And it's one of those that's kind of hard to schedule. We'll talk instead of talking individual games right now, but because not a lot of teams in state, you know, they're still adding them on the junior college level. So you're having to go out of state, having to travel a lot. So just talk about the challenge right now of getting this schedule put together. Yeah,
the schedule, when you look at it, I think we've got 7 home regular season games, and then we've got a home scrimmage. So 8, you know, when you think about it, sometimes that's a lot, but then when you look at our away schedule, you're like, whoa, 8 home games is not a lot.
Not at all.
But right now this fall, we will have 4 MAC teams. So that's a home and away. And, we're getting Jones next fall. And then there's a couple teams that are also in line to come. So that'll be easier to get home games once we get more of the MAC teams. But we're really lucky. I've built relationships with some junior colleges in Alabama that are actually closer than Pearl River, to get to, but we'll travel to them. And luckily, when I say, hey, I'll come to you if we can get a tri-match, we can get 2 games out of a road trip. So that makes it a little bit worth the while.
Yeah, it most definitely is worth the while there where you can get multiple teams in that sense. We're talking with Coach Annie McGregor about the upcoming volleyball season here at ICC. It kicks off, or not kick off, I guess, serve off. Yeah. It starts on Friday, August the 11th. They'll head down to William Carey, take on Pensacola State and William Carey in a round robin down there, starting at 1 o'clock. And tell you what, Pensacola and William Carey, 2 tough teams to start off with.
Yes.
So just kind of talk about the start of that season, playing those tough teams.
Well, I'm really looking forward to that date on the 11th being preseason and being scrimmages. I've told the girls that we'll mess with a couple of different lineups and really see what kind of chemistry we can have on the court and who can work well together. So we're really looking forward to mixing people up, getting freshmen and sophomores in, and just seeing the pace that we need.
Absolutely. And then after that, you're going to host Rust.
Yes.
That'll also be a preseason scrimmage there. That's going to be on August the 15th, 5:30. So a chance for the community to come in and watch the team, but also maybe some former players can come in and watch as well because they're not technically going to be starting college on that next level.
Well, and that day, the 15th, is actually our alumni game. And so we've invited all of our alumni, and I kind of picked that day because they haven't started classes yet.
Yes.
The next level. We start class on the 14th, but the 4-year colleges kind of start the week after that. So that is actually, funny you say that, but that is our alumni game. So we have invited all ICC volleyball alumni, and this being the 4th year of the program, it's kind of easy to get in touch with everybody, so that we can get them here.
Absolutely.
But we're really looking forward to that day.
And then, of course, we're going to scan down, then we're going to go to September. And September the 12th, we're going to welcome the rivals to volleyball.
That's
we take on Northeast.
Yes.
That'll be at Northeast at 6 o'clock start there. So just talk about renewing that rivalry.
We're really excited about it. Geographically, they're the closest MAC school to us. And so my girls know those girls.
Yes.
And so they kind of take that game personally, and they know every girl on that roster, and they've circled that day.
Yes.
We're ready.
Absolutely. Then, of course, the other 2 teams in the conference, if you will, Northwest Pearl River, playing them in back-to-back games on the road before coming back in October and playing them as well. And, we talk about the rivalry of Northeast. That's just the proximity rivalry. But I tell you what, you put ICC Northwest, ICC Pearl River in the same gym together when it comes to volleyball, that's some intense volleyball.
Yeah, there's no love lost there.
Yeah.
It's fun right now. I know the coaches very well and respect them. We were all high school coaches together too, and so I've known Coach Chatham and Coach Burchett a long time. But it's really fun to play those games. They're high energy, competitive games, and it's kind of ICC versus everybody. We're ready to take everybody down.
I like it. Of course, you can visit letsgoicc.com. That's letsgoicc.com. Go to the volleyball page. You can see their full schedule there. I think close to 32 matches scheduled this season. Of course, playing teams like MUW that's in the area as well. So plenty of opportunities to get out and support the Indians. Coach, before we wrap things up here, kind of just give you an opportunity to kind of talk to the fans, invite them out to the season this year.
Yeah, we'd love to have people at our games. We've offered a deal to the teams that we did team camp with and the girls that came to camp that if they wear their camp shirt, they get to get in free.
Nice.
So I would love for any of the girls who are at camp to come support us and see us this season, and anybody who's interested in seeing what we've got. I'd love for anybody to come, whether you know someone on the team or not. Like we mentioned earlier, I promise you it's a lot of fun, and we're not a 4-hour sport event, so we get you in, we get you out, and it's high energy.
Matter of fact, I know one year we played one school that actually drove further than it took us to beat them.
We do that on several occasions.
Yes.
Yeah, we do that on several occasions.
Yes. Well, Coach, again, I appreciate your time, and I appreciate what you're doing to not only help ICC volleyball, but grow the sport as a whole. I know there's a lot of parents out there that appreciate it as well, and I just say that because I know the hours you put into it.
Yes.
And so it's going to be one of those that in the long term, it's going to pay off.
I think so. I'm looking forward to it.
We'll be back more of the ICC Hour right after this. It's not too late to sign up for classes at Itawamba Community College. ICC has scheduled open registration opportunities for August the 9th from 1 to 5 p.m. on our Fulton and Tupelo campuses, August the 10th from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. in Fulton and 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. in Tupelo, and on August the 11th from 8 a.m. to 4:30 on both our Tupelo and Fulton campuses. Financial aid is still available. Day and night traditional classes begin on August the 14th. Online classes start on August 21st. Itawamba Community College, the best start here.
Why settle for a checking account that just holds your money? Renasant Rewards Extra gives you so much more. Like savings at more than 400,000 retailers, 24/7 roadside assistance, a cell phone protection plan worth up to $400, $25 in ATM fee refunds per monthly cycle, and a great interest rate when you meet 3 easy qualifications. Get extra today at rewardsextra.com. Renasant Bank, understanding you. Member FDIC.
HVAC stands for heating, ventilation, air conditioning. It is a trade program that is dealing with home repairs to industrial refrigeration repairs like you'd find in a convenience store to a supermarket. The degree program is 2 years. It is 4 semesters at 15 hours each semester. There's about 15 hours of academic classes that will be needed to be taken for the degree. With a 2-year degree, a person should be able to get a job doing repairs, being a service tech for a local company, to being a self-employed individual. During the program, we get the EPA certification, which allows people to handle the refrigerant and the charge systems. There's also NATE certification that are available to students at completion of a 2-year program. An entry-level person can probably experience pay in the neighborhood of about $14.50 to $17 an hour, with raises going up to the points of $22 to $23 an hour. The demand for HVAC technicians has been really well for the last few years. A lot of the technicians are older people that are at retirement age and are leaving the field, so there is a big demand for new, experienced personnel. The curriculum is made up of 12 classes in the HVAC that are 3-hour college credit classes, starting out with levels of someone not having any experience to getting a person to the level of getting a job or becoming self-employed. There's also 15 credit hours of academic classes for the associate's degree that can be done online or in the classroom on the Tupelo or Fulton campus. I like this industry for the reason of being able to go different places every day for a work environment. It's not always at the same location. The other thing I like about this is a field that's easy to start your own business. Nationwide, 1 out of every 7 that finish a 2-year degree end up owning and operating their own business.
They say Diet Coke is a mom's drink. Well, you copied her jeans, her spin, her shoes, her scrunchie, and whether you realize it or not, her music. Now, copy her drink. Drink what your mama gave you.
Hey, honey, could you help me with this? Today tastes like staying in. And it never tasted this good.
Everyone has a unique story to tell. Maybe your story has you performing your new song in front of a crowd, getting to play your favorite sport, or enjoying a horseback ride in the country. At Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, our group of skilled surgeons understand your need to continue your story. That is why we are the preferred choice for orthopedic care. Thank you for choosing us. Our story is you. Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi.
Good afternoon, and thank you for taking time out of your Tuesday afternoon to join us here on SuperTalk Tupelo 101.9 FM. And this is the ICC Hour. It's August the 8th, Election Day. So throughout the state, if you haven't already, I do want to encourage you to get out and exercise your right to vote in your respected areas. And of course, you want to keep it locked right here on SuperTalk Mississippi to keep up with everything going on throughout the day here on Election Day. Now, last week, we had a chance to catch up with ICC President Dr. Jay Allen and Director of Recruiting and Orientation, Mr. Michael Holloway. If you happen to miss that show but want to go back and check it out, you can do so by searching the ICC Hour, just 3 simple words, the ICC Hour. You can check that out on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe to the page while you're there. Now, I'm Adam Gore, Sports Information Director here at ICC, and the ICC Hour is being presented to you by our friends over at Renasant.
Kirk Herbstreit is a man of many talents, not only an athlete and a sportscaster, but also a skilled swordsman, a master chef.
Needs more lavender.
A wonder at word games.
2 tries, every time.
But his true talent lies in the art of banking.
With Renasant Bank's great products, rewards, and easy-to-use online tools, every transaction is a masterpiece.
You might refer to Kirk as a Renaissance man.
But I call myself a Renaissance man.
Here, you can be your best. The best train here. Learn here. Succeed here. Perform here. Win here. Thrive here. Itawamba Community College. The best start here.